Seeing the stats up there, 9 volley winners for Rafter. I would have thought there were more, and 6 for Lapentti. I would have thought there were less. Well, that was asking a bit to do a stop volley off that shot off his toes. Played Lapentti.
First game, third set.
Pretty good defense there from Lapentti. I mean, he was way back in the court. But he made Rafter volley at his shoe tops, and for once, Rafter couldn't handle it. Now, in your expert opinion, Bill, back in '97, Rafter was, one of the 10 sexiest men in the world, but he hasn't been, acknowledged since. I mean, do you feel he's not as sexy as he was?
Well, you came on the scene, so I suppose that sort of, that pushed him down the list a bit. I of course, was bitterly disappointed to be aged out in the sort of hundreds.
Yes, yeah. I think it has a lot to do with winning. You win a U.S. Open, that's pretty sexy. He won, of course, in '97, broke through and won his first one.
Yeah, he was one of these magazines calling him the sexiest man in the world, which is going some, isn't it? I mean, they've got a few other guys. This guy must have been a candidate. They called for the most generous, popular tennis player. He might well have, I think he would win that.
50.
Although Rios might push him close.
Yeah. Marcelo Rios, of course, he had a good run here, was unseeded, and he had a chance today against Johansson to go through into the round of 16, but he just played a bad match, and Johansson beat him pretty solidly. And Johansson will take on the defending U.S. Open champion, the Russian Marat Safin, who also went convincing through against Arazi, the Moroccan.
40.
Johansson, good player, I think. A few years back, semi-final here, very, very nearly beat Philippoussis, didn't he?
Yeah, no, I like his game. He's a great mover.
Monster tie-break.
Game, Rafter.
Of course, it's hard to mention that match without mentioning Rafter, who, of course, took out Philippoussis in that final in '98. So Rafter collected his second U.S. Open. It's hard to think that he hasn't won any other slams. He's been so close at Wimbledon, close at the Australian. He's always seemingly one of those guys in the last few rounds of these majors.
Yeah, so close at Wimbledon. Took it well, didn't he? I'm happy for you, mate, I gather he says to Goran at the net. I mean, not many players would say that.
Love, 50.
Lapentti found that amusing, trying to force the pace a bit with that shot. Failed dismally.
Love, 30.
Lapentti came in behind that approach shot. And you can see the difference in the volleys. That time he had to make a stretch volley. He couldn't quite pull it off. We saw Rafter play that same type of shot, and he played it for a winner. So no question who is more adept up at the net.
It's the old-fashioned bouncing of the ball before you serve. I thought that had gone out of fashion. Were you a great bouncer of the ball?
No, I you know, maybe once or twice, but
Yeah,
there's
me
3,
too,
4,
once.
5 would drive
Yeah,
you nuts.
Yeah.
That's too good there. Good defense from Lapentti.
Well, the rhythm seems to have gone out of the serve a bit now. That was a very jerky effort. Break points.
I think Lapentti was thinking about Rafter coming in because he really pulled down on that serve. It had no chance of getting over the net.
Calamitous bit of serving then by Lapentti. Tossed away that break of serve.
2-1.
And leaving Rafter 2-1 up with the break.
Time.
Bird's eye view of this centre court here, the Arthur Ashe Stadium. A lot of people have stayed on to see the end of this match. Really is still pretty full, this stadium.
You know, it took an hour to play that first set, and in 40 minutes we've nearly played a set and a half. So Rafter has gotten on with business.
Certainly has. 2-1 ahead with the break. Lapentti no longer seems to be able to handle this medium fast swinging serve. Must be difficult. A bit like a swing bowler in cricket. You wanted to know more about cricket. I'm quite sure it's perhaps the most interesting subject.
I didn't really, actually, Bill.
You didn't? Well, I'm still going to tell you one or two things.
All right.
What you guys can't realize is that two teams can play 5 days and nobody wins. You know?
My God.
Bad luck.
No, couldn't quite pull it off.
30-15.
Good lob, this.
Bill, do you think Rafter can beat Sampras?
From what I've seen, I haven't seen a lot of Sampras this week. Seen a bit. He seemed to play pretty well in his last match. But yes, absolutely, I think he can. What do you think? One of those matches, isn't it? Whoever plays best on the day or the night. That could have been fun if he'd hit it back to lapentti. Might have been just a little bit patronising if he had.
40-30.
Well, good effort from lapentti. You know, he's down 2 sets in a break, yet he's still running, still competing.
Pity it had to end. That was a really good ground stroke point.
Rafter leads 3-1.
And Rafter now 3-1 up.
Well, 1998 was the year that Rafter won his second U.S. Open, and he beat Sampras in the semifinals that year. And Sampras was up 2-1.
Seem to remember was there an injury problem?
I think there was some fatigue and perhaps a slight groin injury I think Sampras had there.
I seem to remember something that sort of joined in the equation there. They had a little bit of history between the two of them, didn't they? At another match somewhere else, I think before the US Open.
Well, that will be something. That match will be coming up in our continuing coverage of this event. No doubt it will be on this court right here, Arthur Ashe Stadium court.
Well, our two representatives may have gone today, but there's some fantastic tennis coming up with some amazingly good players matching up as from Monday.
50.
Or as from Sunday.
It's amazing to think that the winner of that match, Rafter Sampras, will play the winner of Andre Agassi and Roger Federer.
Hardly seems fair, that.
I mean, that is just the roughest section of the draw.
Packed with talent, isn't it?
And you'd think whoever came through that section would be the favorite. But then again, you know, how much gas do you have to burn to get through there? Just creasing the line. Nicely done from lapentti. Nearly pulled that one off.